Have you ever waited for something that never happened? Have you ever waited for success, for happiness, for someone, believing that tomorrow everything will change? But tomorrow comes and nothing changes. What if I told you that one of the greatest play in the English literature is based entirely on this idea of waiting? Welcome to the world of the theatre of the absurd. Hello everyone. Welcome back to LitQuest by Jeetu. In part 1, we discussed the origin of the absurd literature, the influence of World War II, and Albert Camus' philosophy through the myth of Sisyphus. In today's lecture, we will focus on the theatre of absurd, one of the most significant dramatic movements of the 20th century. We will understand its concept, study its major playwright, and explore two famous plays, Waiting for Godot and Endgame. So, without wasting any time, let's begin, friend. What is theatre of the absurd? The term theatre of the absurd was popularized by Martin Esslin in his famous book The Theatre of the Absurd, published in 1961. This term referred to a group of plays that reject traditional dramatic structure. Unlike classical drama, these plays often have no logical plot, no clear conclusion, and no definite message. Instead, they portray human life as confusing, uncertain, and often meaningless. According to Martin Aslin, these plays reflect the modern human condition, a world where search for meaning but fail to find clear answer. Now, friend, one of the most important playwrights of the theatre of absurd is Eugène Ionesco. His famous play includes The Bald Soprano and The Lesson. Ionesco believed that language had become ineffective in the modern society. Although people speak continuously, they often fail to communicate their true thoughts and emotions. His plays are filled with repetitive dialogues, illogical conversation, and humorous situations that reveal the absurdity of the everyday life. Now, let us discuss the greatest playwright of the theatre of absurd, Samuel Beckett. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1969 for his outstanding contribution to modern literature. His famous plays are Waiting for Godot and Endgame. Beckett's work focused on loneliness, hopelessness, uncertainty, and the endless search for meaning in human life. Through simple situations, he presents deep philosophical ideas about existence. Now, friends, it's a story time. Let us understand the story of Beckett's masterpiece, Waiting for Godot. The play revolves around two poor men, Vladimir and Estrogen, who spend their time waiting beside a lonely tree for a mysterious person named Godot. Interestingly, they are not even sure who Godot is or why they are waiting for him. While they wait, they meet two other characters, that is Bozo and Lucky. Later, a young messenger arrives and tells them that Godot will not come today, but will surely come tomorrow. However, tomorrow never comes. The play ends with the two men still waiting. This endless waiting symbolizes the human search for hope, purpose, and meaning in life. Now, Another remarkable play by Samuel Beckett is Endgame. The play takes place in a small room where four characters, Ham, Clove, Nag, and Nell, live together. Ham is blind and unable to walk. Clove can walk but cannot sit. Nag and Nell live inside dustbin. Every day they repeat the same routine, talking about the past and waiting for something to change. But friends, nothing changes. The play presents life as repetitive, lonely, and hopeless, emphasizing the absurd nature of human existence. Friends, now let us summarize the main characteristic of the theater of the absurd. First, there is no logical plot. Second, action and dialogues are repeated again and again. Third, communication often fails because character cannot truly understand one another. Another important feature is silence, who sometimes speaks louder than words. The plays also use black humor where tragic situations become strangely funny. Finally, most absurd plays have a circular structure, meaning they end almost where they begin, suggesting that nothing has really changed, right? Now, before we conclude, let us quickly revise today's lecture. First, the term theatre of the absurd was popularized by Martin Aslin. The two major playwrights we studied today are Samuel Beckett and Eugène Ionesco. Beckett's famous play include Waiting for Godot and Endgame. The theatre of the absurd present life as uncertain, repetitive, and often meaningless. Its major characteristics include illogical plots, repetition, silence, failure of communication, black humor, and circular structure. So, friends, thank you for watching this lecture. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to LitQuest by Jeetu. In the next part, we will discuss other important absurd writer, major themes, and examination oriented questions. Thank you. Bye.